Hello everyone, Clark Towson here. Just a couple of things. I've been over here in Thailand now for almost 3 full months, and there's a couple of things I want to talk about in this video. Just about some of the difficulties in trying to work in an environment like Pattaya. So the issue is in Pattaya, this is a holiday destination predominantly, and tourists come from all over the world for certain periods of time and then they leave. So looking at many tourists who come here for 2 weeks, some come for a month, and then fewer still come for 3 months, and then fewer again come for longer periods of time. And then you've got an expat population as well. Now, a lot of the people within this town, it is a tourist town, there's a lot of people whose income depends upon tourists, and their behavior towards tourists dictates how much money they will earn or will not earn, right? So living here within this environment, I've had to adapt to, and I've had to try to explain to people, look, I'm not a 2 week tourist here. I'm not the prototypical guy who comes to Pattaya for 2 weeks, has his fun, and then leaves. I'm trying to work in this environment and to be a long-term traveler and to spend longer periods of time over here. So what does that mean in practice? What it means in practice is I'm not out every night of the week. I'm not spending money in bars every night of the week. I'm not engaging with sex workers every night of the week. I'm not doing any of that sort of stuff whilst I'm over here. The majority of my time I'm spending in front of my computer, either programming or making plans or thinking, strategizing, trying to develop services to cater towards the red light environment over here. The services predominantly being Bitcoin, the Bitcoin Lightning Network, and the conversion of Bitcoin to fiat currency for the payment of bar girls in Thai baht. Now, I knew before I came over here that this would be a difficult environment to work in, because I knew, having come here for the last 10 years, that the majority of people within the bar scene who are the bar workers, the women and the ladyboys who are the bar hostesses, would see me as just another 2 week millionaire, another 2 week tourist, and to contact me, to offer me their services, and to try to engage with me in order to make money. Now, I'm not that person, because I'm not a 2 week tourist over here. But every single day, I'm getting people contacting me who are wanting me to meet up with them for money. I don't know what I have to do. Maybe I need to get some more t-shirts printed up, maybe with my logo on them, instead of just Bitcoin, the Bitcoin Lightning Network. I think it's going to help getting an office for the short term in Soi 6, and starting to hand out flyers with my company's branding on them, so that people associate my image with my company, with the services that I'm trying to pioneer over here in this country. So I've got to do a border run next Friday, and so I'm going to Cambodia for the day, and then I'll be back here in Thailand by late afternoon, early evening. And then after that, I'm looking at, and I've been planning this, getting this office in Soi 6 and spending probably about a week there, right? A week there. Maybe 6 or 7 hours a day, open door policy, hand out my flyers, see which bar girls respond. There'll be a financial incentive, of course. I'll set them up with a Bitcoin wallet, see how all that goes. So, yeah, in this environment, it can be, there's a lot of temptation. There can be a lot of problems that can come up within this environment for men in particular, and for women as well. Even though the majority of the people who come in and spend time in Pattaya and spend time in the bars and visit the bar workers are men. For women, the women who work within the bar environment, who are bar hostesses sex workers, and so on. That occupation, see, men are prone to, or a man's Achilles heel is his sex drive. Men are prone to sex addiction. So men have to be very careful with that. Women's Achilles heel, what's very risky for women is love addiction. Now, love addiction is just as troublesome as sex addiction. It manifests in different ways for each gender. But within this environment, these are issues that anyone who works in this environment needs to be aware of. So any kind of addiction like that causes a spike in dopamine in the brain, and also a spike in adrenaline and other feel-good chemicals. So both the men who visit here and the women and the trans women who work within the environment need to be very, very careful that they don't develop addictions. So I knew this coming into this environment. I knew it would be a rocky road. I knew it wouldn't be easy to do the things that I'm doing over here. But there are things that have come up which I didn't expect, and things that I'm going to have to adjust whilst trying to pioneer over here in this environment. So it's risky being a pioneer. It's risky trying new things. It's risky laying the groundwork. Whether you succeed, like whether I succeed or not, other people, because of my YouTube channel, they've seen what I've done, and there'll be other people who will either take up the work or they'll modify it, because I'm running an open source project, right? And there'll be lessons for other men or women who adopt this work and pioneer in other red light environments around the world, right? So, yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about those things today. The kind of temptation that's on offer over here in Pattaya is many orders above what's available back in my home country in Australia. I consider Pattaya as being on the world stage for the adult industry because of what goes on in Soi 6, the major entertainment area here in Pattaya, right? Where you've got a very high concentration of sex workers within a very or relatively small space, right? One soi or one long street. Yeah, so that's why I sort of see is what I'm doing over here. There's a world stage. I'm currently on the world stage, pioneering over here within this environment. People are looking, they're going to see, all right, is what Towson doing, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Let's see what happens, right? Obviously, if I succeed, there'll be people who want to compete with me. If I succeed, people in other countries, in other red light environments will perhaps try to do the same thing. If I don't succeed, people will see the reasons why, because I'll hear about the reasons why directly from me and from my videos, right? And my website, and my writings, etc., etc. So one of the policies that I'm very, very seriously considering adopting to continue working over here is not engaging in any way with any of the bar hostesses who work within this environment. That means adopting a completely neutral stance where I don't even walk into a bar to buy a drink, okay? Almost as if I have to be a member of the clergy or something, or wear a religious outfit, something like that, right? I want people to see me as not just another tourist. I want people to see me as somebody who is, pioneering in this environment, who is looking to continue working within this environment, because it gets very, very tiresome. Imagine every day, message after message from different people, either bar hostesses or people within this environment whose complete motivation for meeting up with me is money. That is it. That is it, right? 100%. That's all it's about, money. So they're working, fair enough. Let's respect their work. Let's respect what they do. But I just need to figure out how to continue to work effectively within this environment whilst minimizing some of the problems that come up from working in this environment. And there are many, many, many problems, right? There really are. Right? Having people understand what I'm doing, explaining things to people, trying to get it through the heads of bar girls what I'm doing, the majority of whom either don't understand what I'm doing or will still only see me as just another 2-week tourist. Right? These are the problems of being a pioneer, right? Simple as that. A lot of these are symptoms of being a pioneer, and in this environment, things come up which are, I've got to add on top. Right? This isn't a normal everyday environment in which to innovate in. Right? A normal everyday environment to innovate in is the real world, the outside world, outside of the red light environment. Like, for instance, if I was opening a shop in a shopping district back in Melbourne, Australia, that would be a normal environment to innovate in. Or, where there's a lot of people walking by as a mixed use environment, say somewhere in the city of Melbourne. Maybe I've got a small store or something like that, or I've got an office there where there's not a great concentration of one particular industry. So we have to remember that the industry that is on offer over here, that's highly developed over here in Pattaya, is tourism related, and comes back down to travel, leisure, and entertainment, right? And the Thais do all of those things particularly well, right? Particularly well. So I do have to leave the country very soon, i.e. next week. I'll get 45 days for this visa, and then I'll look at either extending it or I'll head over to the Philippines for a period of time. And I want to go on the record talking about that as well, the Philippines. There's quite a few people from the Philippines who I know, who I've been conversing with, chatting with, either recently or for a longer period of time. And it's been great getting to know these people. And some of them I'll meet up with in person, which I'm very much looking forward to. There are, of course, a lot of people who've contacted me from the Philippines who see me as a walking ATM, as a person to help or to finance themselves and finance their own travel by being my companion when I'm over there. So it's the same thing again, right? But this time when I do go over to the Philippines and I look around there, I will be a tourist. I'm not looking to innovate over there at the moment. So I have to get out of innovation mode and go into tourist mode. And I know what that means, because being in tourist mode means that people will be seeing me as an economic opportunity, a walking ATM, right? Now, some might say, look, Clark, you knew this about these environments, that if you go over there, the people are going to be hitting you up for money. Well, yes, but it's not, it's the same situation in Australia, but with a different flavor. So us men, what are the resources that we provide? We provide money, status, resources, financial support to women, to trans women. That's how we're seen. We just see it play out a whole lot quicker within the adult industry over here. What might take months or, many months to play out in a normal relationship of people getting to know each other, plays itself out in less than an hour over here within this environment. So just some thoughts about this sort of stuff, right? I do need to very, very seriously consider just completely 100% detaching myself from being any kind of participant within the environment, in terms of consuming any of the services that are on offer over here, and instead like trying to have people see me as a producer. So they put me in a category. They go, ah, that guy works here. We stay away from him. Uh, don't approach that guy. He's working in this environment. We need to get to that point. That's going to take quite a bit of time, longer than what I first anticipated. But there are things that I can do, like making these sorts of videos, that are helpful when it comes to that. Maybe some more t-shirts would be very, very helpful when I'm working in Soy Hock. Having my logo out there and my face associated with my logo, that will be very helpful as well. People think, ah, there's the Bitcoin guy. He won't engage our services, but we can go to him when it comes to needing Bitcoin and a Bitcoin wallet, and Farang's sending us money using Bitcoin so we can accept it as Thai baht. So I think that's how I need to be seen. That's how I want to be seen. I'm glad I started with this business first. I'm glad I didn't go and open a bar or a ladyboy bar or anything like that. There's specific reasons why I'm very happy that I didn't do that, which I'm not going to go into, but there are things I didn't fully comprehend before, which I do now. So I'm very glad I started with this idea first. All right, that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about, everyone. All the best.